it to the top.
Here we are.
And now to head back down the hill.
The fun part.
I don't know about fun. At least it's not going up anymore. Minutes at marathon pace. Let's go.
See ya.
She told me to just let her fall back on the marathon pace. Yeah, that's where she is. They left me in the dust. I'm about to use this downhill. She doesn't know it. I'm gonna catch her with these long legs. Ah! Oh, here's the downhill. Ah! Oh! Oh! The sneak attack! Sneak attack!
I knew you were gonna get me on that downhill.
The sneak attack! I told the camera.
I knew you were coming.
I said I'm gonna use this downhill with my long legs. Ah!
So I got ahead when I could.
Now we gotta finish together. Woo woo!
Hey everybody. So last weekend when we did the long run, I talked about how Caleb totally left me in the dust. Well, this week our workouts were very similar, so we're tag teaming this video and we're both going to talk a little bit about our workouts. And the long run at the end is another 10 out of 10 long run, awesome long run, and ended a little bit differently. So I'm excited to tell you guys about that. I'm gonna jump right in with week 4 for me with Boston Marathon training. This is what happened. Monday, track, it was 6x800s, and this hurt. The target was 256, which I knew was going to be ambitious, and it definitely was. I did not hit that target on any of them. However, it was not for lack of effort. I gave it everything I had, and that was the best I had on that day. So I am proud of my effort in that one and just gonna keep working on that. The next day, Tuesday, I did another Zwift ride. This was stage 7 out of 8 of the Tour de Zwift. It was a little bit more of a challenging one with some climbs. Always a good time on there. Tuesday night, did my regular body pump. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've heard me talk about the strength training and how important it is, and I will continue to do that. The next day, I was supposed to do my second key workout of the week. However, I was starting to have some pain in my quad as I was finishing up my last rep on the track, and it lingered for a couple days. And initially my mind was thinking, oh no, here we go again. I was just out for 6 weeks with the hamstring injury. I cannot afford to be out for another 6 weeks. My mind started to wander dark places, and I just decided to give myself a couple days, no running. So I did another bike ride. This one was just a little bit more of an easier. It was a flat 1 hour, started to feel better. So Thursday I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try the tempo run. I'm just gonna see how it goes, and if my leg starts bothering me, I will stop and I will just walk back to the car. I'm not gonna push it. Fortunately, it felt fine. I did 1 mile warm up, and then it was 6 miles at long tempo, which is a 7:10 pace for me, then a 1 mile cool down. And I was able to hit my target on every mile. I stayed in pace, so I was really excited about that, and it felt good, just a confidence booster to be able to actually hit my targets on one of these challenging workouts. But they say in the book, you only run 3 times a week, and they're gonna be challenging, and that's why you take the other days to cross-train, do what you need to do to recover, and it is true. Then on Thursday, I also did my weekly swim, just easy. I'm not a super fast swimmer, but I feel like it keeps me a little bit in shape, and it's just something different. Good cross training kind of resets the body, and then also my quick short strength training that I like to do after I swim. Then on Friday, the plan only has 3 days of running. It's just personal preference that I want to have 1 day a week where I just do an easy run just because I love running. And they say it's not going to hurt anything. So I just did an easy 5. You can see my splits. Nice chill pace, kept the heart rate low, and just ran because I enjoy running. Then Saturday was the big Fellowship of the Idiots. That's actually, yes, the name of the run, and we have a video entirely devoted to this run, so you can check that one out. But this run for me was supposed to be 20 miles at an 8:06 pace, and Caleb and I were able to do this one again together, which is really special. We did the whole thing until the last, I think it was last 40 minutes. Caleb had his marathon pace.
40 minutes at marathon pace. Let's go. Gotta leave Katie in the dust.
Last week I talked about how he just took off and it was too much for me. He's in way better shape and I let him go, and I said the same thing this time. I'm not gonna try to keep up with you. You just go on ahead. And we started doing the marathon pace and I was feeling good. So I just kind of took off. I knew he was gonna catch me, and he did eventually catch me. So it was fun that we were able to finish the run together.
She told me to just let her fall back on the marathon pace. Yeah, that's where she is.
That was a good, really good way to wrap up week 4.
Week 15, and what a week. It was another great build week for me, and I'm on the downhill. Like, I'm counting down to Myrtle Beach Marathon. I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm in really good run shape and I'm ready to race. I try not to get ahead of myself. This week was a great week overall. I started off the week Monday with an easy run of 6 miles. Tuesday, like Katie just mentioned, it was so crazy. Our workouts lined up. I think this is the first time that like any of our workouts had lined up, and so the fact that both of them were really similar was really cool. Might have been a little bit of bragging. I did 6 by 3 minutes, again, going off of time and not distance. So I did 3-minute intervals. They all came out at or just slightly longer than a half mile. So the pace ended up being just under 6 minutes per mile. So I was really happy with that. It was definitely a tough workout. I was feeling it, my legs were hurting. But I felt really good throughout each one. I got a little bit of video in each one, so it was really fun. I did it here, close to the house, in the neighborhood. I think there's been some videos of that. The neighborhood that's close by, it's a really flat loop that's about 0.45 miles, so really close to a half mile. So it was really nice that I could just run one loop around the neighborhood, and that was each interval. That night, I went to body pump with Katie, so weights that afternoon or that evening. On Wednesday, I ran with the South Rowan group. Chariots of Fire was the name of the route. Dusty's naming all of the routes after famous movies from back in the day. So that was 6 miles with good friends, 9:17, nice and easy pace, heart rate 125, really good and much needed run after the 800s. On Thursday, I ran 2 by 20 minutes. Katie's run was 6 miles, and mine ended up just being short of 6 miles, 2 by 20 minutes. My pace was a little faster, but I did have that nice break in between mine, so that was nice. It should have been closer to an 11-mile run. I cut it short because of time. Normally I am off on Fridays, but this week, because I had cut 2 of my long runs short, I decided to run nice and easy. I do run by heart rate on my easy runs. I think that that's a good way to keep yourself in check and know that your running is actually in an easy run state, is by watching your heart rate. So I do not run by power on easy runs, but I run by heart rate. Katie said it was a 10 out of 10 for her long run. I'm gonna call this an 11 out of 10. This was one of my favorite runs of the whole year that's not a race. It's just It's like a really awesome group run to the top of Mar Mountain and back. We started with the 10-minute warm-up, 2 hours steady. What's really interesting on this is even though this was rolling hills and we ran up a mountain and back down a mountain, on this steady section, our average pace was pretty much the exact same as it was on the American Tobacco Trail the weekend before at an 8:11 pace. And then the exact same thing with marathon pace. This was much more up and down, rolly, but yet it still came out at a 7:18 per mile average pace on the 40 minutes or 5.5 miles. So really, again, proud of the marathon pace, sticking to the zone, watching heart rate stick right around 160, 162. I'm feeling confident about the marathon pace. I'm feeling confident about the way that I felt finishing up 22 miles and feeling like, yeah, I definitely have some more. And that was an awesome way to wrap up week 15. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you don't mind, just click that like button below. It'll help us out, make us feel good, help us keep chugging along on this journey. And if you want to see the entire video that we dedicated to the Fellowship of the Idiot Run, go ahead and click right there. And we'll see you over there on that video. It's an awesome one. Go check it out. Right over here. Yeah, just click on that. We'll see you over there.